I couldn't even fathom Europe. Like, it wasn't even on my mind.
We can get an American kid like you. That's their perspective, right? So you're just another Canadian kid, unfortunately.
I was just looking at the ceiling. I said, oh my God, like, how did I end up here? You know?
I had 4 guys in my room. It was a 3-bedroom apartment with like 12 guys. 1 guy sleeping in the corner with his girlfriend. Yeah, 4 guys in my room, 3 guys in the next room, 1 kitchen destroyed.
The amount of ballers that are in your guys' shoes right now that maybe have come across your content, like, yo, this guy, we're kind of in the same, part of our career right now. You think like the content you're creating, even maybe coaches are seeing it?
You know what?
Funny.
You know what? Funny enough, yes. I think it can be both positive and negative. The agent I was working with called me. He's like, yeah, they found out you were an influencer. Like, what is this about? I said, oh, I make YouTube videos. I showed them the stuff. Like, yeah, they don't want to go that route. They don't want those type of players on their team.
What's good, Footy Culture family? Today, got a very special episode because we're joined by some very special Canadian ballers playing in Europe, but most importantly, local ballers, local to our hometown, Vaughan, Maple, and specifically Vaughan alumni, St. Joan of Arc alumni, but joined by the boys, Habib Famuditimi, who plays in Estonia, and Josh Pulla, who plays in Finland. Welcome, boys.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having us.
How you boys doing?
Yeah, we're good.
Good to be here.
Yeah, it's good. I want to get right into it because obviously, you guys are on your grind, on your journey towards, trying to make it to the top level professional footballer, playing your trade in Europe. But let's take things to the beginning a little bit because, like I mentioned, you guys are Vaughan products, Vaughan Soccer Club products. And I just want to ask, because Vaughan seems like such a hotbed for footballers lately, especially like we're seeing Vaughan guys make it to the senior national team. So why is Vaughan such a hub for top footballers? And honestly, in today's age, why are Vaughan putting out more national team ballers than TFC, Vancouver? Like, what makes Vaughan so special that you guys have experienced firsthand?
I'll go first. Honestly, like everyone kind of has a different experience with Vaughan. I think it's whether you're there for your whole career, kind of like I was. He was there for a very long time, but it's a hot place because, the coaching staff, whether you're at the youth level or when you get a little bit older into like the high performance programs, they take you in and they embrace you. And we've had great experiences and we were there for a long, long time. So it's not only us, but I think our O1 group was a pretty good group. And we had some great players come out of that group. And we stuck together for a long, long time. So it's a really good hub, not only for people from the start, but also people coming in to the squads like you see, and we'll probably name some as we go, but yeah, so it's whether you join when you're young from the youth or you join as you come off of like leaving TFC or different experiences, the way the group comes together, the way the staff takes care of us, I think it was a phenomenal place to be. So
100%.
Yeah, I'm just going off what he said. I think it's like the culture, of the club. I was actually thinking about this the other day. I remember when I was like 10 and I was going to practice one day and I was getting nervous, because it's like you have to perform, and this is what it was. As a 10-year-old, like I'm being put in an environment where you have pressure on your back, and I think all the way up until we were high performance, like you said, it was that same culture. You have to win. Training has to be intense. Otherwise, you're not going to play this weekend. It wasn't like, this guy's got to do better than this guy and we're going to give him minutes regardless. It was a good culture and definitely propelled us for whatever was next.
Yeah, because even like I mentioned, like we're seeing, pro players, top national team ballers, Alistair Johnson, Kamal Miller, Dane St. Clair come out of Vaughan. And, at least when I was growing up, you're looking at like the path to make it to the top level. It's like, okay, I got to make it to TFC Academy. Like that's like the step to make it, to MLS, to, maybe eventually Europe, right? But maybe the tides are shifting a little bit. Like, yo, I could make it. I'm seeing, like, I have an example. I'm seeing all these guys make it from Vaughan to this level. Like, do you think there's a shift in the system? Like, yo, you don't have to play for an MLS academy to make it pro.
Yeah.
yeah, I think I mean, it goes even further than here. Like, we were both in the US for school and did some coaching out there. I got to see some of the youth out there as well. That's becoming a big thing as well. I think everything is shifting, like in North America, like soccer in general. The youth academies will bring it back to Vaughan too. Like, you don't have to be at these MLS next places. You don't have to be at these MLS academies because you can find other exposure, and there's other brands out here that are up and coming. Shout out to the guys at FTF as well. They do a great job of just changing that culture now. Now you can get it in more exposure in different places. Doesn't just have to be that one place like TFC it was, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's true. It's just like from this area, growing up, it was TFC or nothing really. I do remember that time, but now seeing like with school and guys trying their luck earlier in Europe, it's just finding different pathways outside of what we had. And then because the quality's always been there. For me, it's never been a question of quality. You know, it's just exposure and opportunity and a bit of luck, you know. So trying different things and seeing that once they get the opportunity, they're able to make a name for themselves. And that gives guys like us hope, you know, especially growing up in that time for sure.
100%. So touch on that, because you're saying the talent's always been there.
Yeah.
So do you guys think, or let me ask you this, what are the problems with the Canadian soccer system as a youth player? Like, why is maybe talent going unnoticed? Why is maybe the scouting not picking up on guys at this certain age group? And then, you know, maybe they weren't called up to these academies or like youth camps, but all of a sudden, boom, they're making it pro. Like, what are the problems with the Canada soccer system in your guys' eyes?
I think it's like, first and foremost, probably the pay to play kind of culture that we have here in Canada. Going to Europe and seeing guys, and if they're able and talented, they will have a chance somewhere, somehow, you know. And I think when we change our perspective and focus first on the talent, like, we need players to represent Canada at all levels, you know, and develop them and care for them. Once that becomes the focus, then I think a lot of things will change. We talk about this all the time, like, what can Canada do better? What can Canada do better? Because it's not a question of quality. It never was, you know. Mm-hmm. And in terms of like scouting and things like that, I think back in the day, maybe now it's changing, the focus on physicality, and maybe if someone was a smaller player and hadn't hit their physical peak yet, then they'd overlook them, instead of like, how does he understand the game? How can I even develop him, you know, to get to that level? Mm-hmm. And that was a lot of things that happened to me, at least when I was trying out for TFC. So I can speak to that. So
no, because I think about that too. Like, yo, what if like an Iniesta grew up in the Canadian soccer system? Would he have made it? Dead ass. Would he?
Honestly, you know,
That's a
you
good
never
question.
know.
That's a good question.
Yeah, and I think that goes into kind of what I touched on before, but like the exposure, like, you know, up until recent times, like the only exposure I was getting was TFC or go away for school. That was the only two kind of routes you had to choose from. There were rare kids going to Europe, rarely going to other MLS academies in the US, which I see is more common for Canadian players, right? Like, our youth national teams were very select, and you know, when the games you're playing in weren't highly exposed, and that also starts from the top, right? The better the national team does, it trickles down, right? Kids want to see these guys play now. They want to see the Joe Davids. They want to see the Tejan Buchanans, right? So it's cool to see how much is growing, and I think after the World Cup, I hope it just continues to fly for sure.
It's all about seeing those examples, bro. Like you said, like even like, for example, Tejan's my age. He's a 99. And I remember, even if I'm not mistaken, he didn't get called up for any Canada youth camps growing up. Yeah. Bro, this guy's on Villarreal right now. Right. So it's like, what are we missing at that early level from a scouting perspective, right? Yeah. But like you touched on, both of you guys went NCAA D1. Yeah. What was that experience like? And do you guys recommend going that route for if you want to become a pro baller? Do you regret that experience, or did you love it?
Okay, I'll touch on this first because like making my own content, that's like a big question I get asked, like in the comments or some DMs. Like, it's the first question they ask, you know, should I go D1? Like, I think it really varies. I think for me, I needed it. I think when I was 17 years old, getting ready to go to school, like, I wasn't ready to take that trip across the seas, you know, and just like grind. Like, I was not ready. And I'll tell you that. I knew what my goals were. I knew I always wanted to continue playing after university, but I knew that if I could go there and develop physically and just take my game to the next level every day, that it would work out for me. So I think the path is very different for everyone, but I don't think it's a wrong decision to go or the right decision. It really depends. It really, really depends. But for me, it was very positive. So
Okay.
I'll take it as it went.
Okay. How about you?
Yeah, I think like you said, it does depend. Again, for me, it was like I was not I was not ready at 18 and
Like physically or even just mentally,
like,
you guys weren't ready.
all aspects
around.
of the game. Like
Yeah.
I was not ready, and I think even just thinking about the pro step, it just felt like a big jump, and I'm glad that I went to university, and I would do it 10 times out of 10 again if I had to make that decision. I think just the environment that you come into. I remember my first day because I went to school early. Actually, I went to school in July, and they were still home after high school graduation, and coming into that environment and all the guys were there and it was super professional and you have to be on time and it was the details that mattered and it was all the little things that stacked up and then kind of made me a different player right away when the season started, and I think it's learning all those things, adding it under your belt, and it's men's football, like it's quite physical
Yeah,
as well.
especially like you're playing against a lot of Americans.
Yeah,
like
the
that's
game's
their
different.
game.
Yeah,
I think.
yeah, that really helped me, and I know that I would not be in the situation that I am now if I didn't go to school. So for me, I can say for sure, I would recommend it if people are thinking about it. But yeah, it does depend on player by player situation.
I like how you guys went through D1 because I think it kind of like puts your toes in the water of being a professional athlete. Like you hear stories where people go to Europe or they leave, they go abroad and they get homesick and stuff like that too. Like for you guys, obviously you have those times even between school to come back and see family and stuff. Kind of get that experience of going, off, to a different country, stuff like that. So it is beneficial for some people. I know for myself too. Like if I went to D1, I think that would probably be the best thing for me because it's little stepping stones to go into pro. Yeah. Some players are different. Sometimes it's the mentality. You can go pro right away, but it's not the same for everything. At the end of the day, your goal is the same, but the way you get there, it's different for everyone. So I agree.
That's true. But both of you guys actually transferred from your original schools, right? Yeah. How come? Why?
I guess I'll go. When I first committed to Jacksonville, I always knew there was going to be an expiry date on my time there because I knew that I wanted to progress, in my career. Seeing how, the top 25s and, the draft picks and all these things worked, it seemed that there was a pattern of where they were coming from and the environments that these people were coming from. Not to say that it was impossible at Jacksonville, but I just wanted to put myself in a better situation, and we had a good year, 1 year. We won and, played in the national tournament, and having that experience as well, I felt ready to go and try something new, and I don't regret it at all. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think for me, it was pretty similar. I discussed this a lot at the time of transferring. I had a couple of friends who transferred into Drexel with me, not from St. Bonaventure, but from other schools. And we talked about it like, really, there's only a couple true reasons you do transfer. And one of them is if you want to progress and want to be the best player you can be and try to go pro. And that was one of the things in my mind from the beginning. I kind of, same as him, I kind of had that expiry date. It was to go to St. Bonaventure where I first went and do the best I could and reach higher levels and try to get into the draft, which unfortunately I didn't. But I think it worked out exactly how it was supposed to. And I learned a lot from both schools. So,
did you guys have references at that time though? Like, I know this guy that, went D1, did pretty well for himself. Maybe I could take that path, or were you guys just going in blind kind of thing?
That's a good question, actually. I know I don't really know much about college soccer, like growing up until like high school, maybe grade 10. I think that was my first time hearing about it and getting into it. We started going to showcases with, high performance, and I got an email from University of Memphis, and I remember doing all this research and, asking more questions and getting interested. Obviously, you see guys at Vaughan, like I think Alistair, obviously because Malcolm, his brother, was on my team, so I kind of would see him around, and understanding what that path looked like was a bit more practical. And yeah, guys like that for sure. In the Vaughan system, I think we had a pretty good direct, line of sight to see what's possible.
Yeah, I think the same thing for me. I think same kind of timeline, and then seeing guys like Alistair and even a guy like Ryan Raposo.
Yeah.
Like I would get called up to play, like I was 15, 16. I would get played with his like U18 team before he was going away to Syracuse. And it was just cool to see the level, It's like at a level I could reach. And then, you follow up with them. And then I started realizing, wow, college soccer really is the great route. And and it's the route I want to go. So it helped me not go in blind. You know what I mean? So it was pretty.
He balled out at Syracuse
he
too.
did.
I remember those days.
For sure.
He's a baller. He's a baller.
And a lot of those Vaughan guys were getting into the MLS draft too.
Yeah.
Like him, Alistair went MLS draft. Obviously Dane, Niall, Kamal. So like they're clearly reference points like as things went on. So I mean the kids that are maybe coming up now, like they're blessed in a sense. Like they have the platform kind of thing.
Yeah.
But you guys finished school. What's the headspace? Because obviously, like the draft route didn't end up coming into fruition. How does Europe even become a thought? And what are the options looking like?
Yeah, that is a crazy time. What was it, like December 2023?
Yeah.
I just graduated. I actually I was in a tournament again with Seattle, and my mindset was kind of, let's go as far as we can. But unfortunately, we lost in the first round to Oregon State. And I remember, because all the seniors, they were getting emotional. It was our last game together. But I had this like bittersweet feeling in my chest because I knew, okay, now it's time to figure out what's next. At least I have something else to focus on. And right away, I started getting into contact with agents that had spoken to me throughout my college career. So I kind of knew that it was time to lock in. And I thought I was going to stay in Canada or America. I thought that was the most plausible thing to happen. And I couldn't even fathom Europe. Like it wasn't even on my mind. It was not on my mind. And then the new year came, and I was going to combines and trials, and just things were just not looking good. And also with the international rule, I was also getting a lot of feedback about that. And then actually, funny enough, so me and Promise are good friends, and we go to the same church. And
Shout out Promise.
Shout out Promise, yeah.
Promise for sure.
And his
Another Vaughan legend.
Vaughan legend, yeah. And his dad is a really good, family friend to us. So I told him the whole situation, and obviously Promise was doing well for himself. So he had acquired a number of different contacts and things like that. So that's kind of how I just got my start.
So where was Promise at the time?
At the time, Promise was still in Estonia, and he was about to leave. He was like a couple months out from leaving, So that was when he linked me with someone who was well connected in Austria, and I just went out there, and everything is history now. I guess.
Your first stop was Austria.
Yeah, first stop was Austria.
And bro, what's that like culture shock like? Going from D1 to Austria, and this is an Austria first division.
This was Austria's third div.
Third division.
Yeah,
so
it was
you're deep in the pyramid.
Yeah, it was yeah.
like you're not playing on like pristine pitches. like what's the ground looking like?
Yeah. Okay, I will say Austria is one of those countries, they do have nice grasses. I will say they do have nice stadiums in general. They
it's not like a poor country.
Yeah. They actually have nice facilities. Okay. But so I had left, and obviously going from a good D1 that, had resources and going to this situation, and it was in a small village, and many people only spoke German, and it happened so quickly, and I'm just there, and I'm like, oh my God, the time difference is there. And so I'm picking things up, and I'm learning, and I'm trying to have this growth mindset. I'm here for a reason. I'm here for a reason. And I wake up every day, and some guys, because it's still kind of like semi-pro at that level. Some teams are operating on a full pro, but my team was definitely semi-pro. So some guys had jobs during the day, so I'm just kicking rocks all day, waiting for training, And then I think once I got there and I showed what I can do, I kind of calmed down, and I made friends, and I learned a little bit of the language, and it was such a good experience. There were a lot of good opportunities that came from that. I met a lot of different people, good friends, and looking back on it now, I have fond memories. But when I first got there, I was like, I couldn't sleep, also from the jet lag, but from a lot of other things. But I was just looking at the ceiling. I said, oh my God, how did I end up here? You know?
Because even like the little things, like, bro, like where are you living? Are you living by yourself or like with a family? Like, like how are you figuring out all of these things on the go? You know German or no?
I learned a little bit. I learned a little. You have to, the situation. I was kind of blessed because I knew I was gonna have a situation to stay, like a place to stay. The players had some housing, so I just moved in, and another guy was leaving, so it was like perfect timing. There was also another guy who was Nigerian there as well, and my family's Nigerian, so that kind of eased the route for me. Yeah, it made some. Just make you feel at home a little bit more than what it is. Yeah, for sure.
And Pulla, speak on your early journey heading to Europe a little bit, because one thing, Derp, on you, you've been pretty much documenting like your trials, you know, speaking with agents, like speaking with clubs. It's on YouTube. I've seen it.
Yeah.
And I'm a fan. I love the content, and like I think it's good that you're showcasing it for people to see. But talk to us about your headspace going into Europe and that first kind of breakthrough and the grind that it took to get there.
Yeah, I think. Well, first shout out my YouTube at J Pulla, but
Shout out.
Shout out,
but honestly, my mindset was pretty similar. Like after college finished, December 2023, I was actually a little more hard-headed than Habib. Like I really was just like, I should be playing in the US. I'm gonna find a team. So I doubled down. I went back and played USL 2 there, which is semi-pro. You know, I took the summer, not making money, and I just said I'm gonna smash it, and I did. To be fair, you know, the level wasn't the worry, but anytime I went on a trial, when I went on some US trials, same thing. You don't like getting the visas too expensive, you know, and basically the feedback is without them directly telling you, but you know, we can get an American kid like you. That's their perspective, right? So you're just another Canadian kid, unfortunately. So it kind of took me a full year to realize that I needed to go to Europe, and I wish I had done it sooner because although it was a grind and I don't think it was the perfect situation, I don't regret it at all. Like it was what a year I've had. Like it's been crazy. But originally I went out, I took a chance, went out to a little combine here in Canada, and that agent hooked me up, said a club in Malta where Promise had played was very interested in me, second division club. But I had spoken to Promise about the country, and he told me some good things about the country in general. I know the football's a little bit different out there, a little bit can get a little crazy, but they got some quality out there for sure. So I went out there and I did very well at the trial. The agent actually was visiting players in Malta, so he actually was there live, and he was like, "Yeah, let's get ready to sign." You know, like I signed the contract with him with the agency officially. And he was like, we're preparing for the contract to come in this week. Like, I really thought I was good. You know, I was documenting the journey. It's really cool. And then, boom, within a week, they said they weren't interested anymore. They brought in new guys in training. And I was kind of left stranded a little bit. The agent kind of backed off a little bit, tried to help me out with some other clubs in Malta, but they were scrambling. They're mid-season there, right? January is a little bit tight. They have some foreign rules, only 4 foreign players. So some teams actually wanted me again. There was a team I actually had the contract offer sent to me, and then they redacted it the next day. So it was like so many highs and lows really, really quickly.
Bro, what's that doing for your mental though?
No, I mean, it's tough. And like, you know, we talk about the journey, we talk about the youth. Like, was I really ready for that at 17? I don't know. I would say I'm a pretty mentally strong guy, but you know, at 17, maybe it takes a little bit of a toll. Maybe I end up going home, but for me, that wasn't an option. You know, I booked a one-way flight and I was going to find a club, and I had the plan B's and C's, but I didn't want to use them. But then that kind of leads me into my next thing. End of January, I stayed with a good friend of mine from Drexel in Italy, just as like a common ground, and he was gonna set me up with a team out there in the lower tiers of Italy. But I thought I could push for more, so I hit this guy up. And I said, buddy, I'm coming to Estonia. I'm going to crash on the couch and we're going to figure it out. So I kind of launched my Nordic region from there. So yeah, that's like the beginning of this year was a crazy, crazy ride for me. For sure.
And touch on a little bit, because you're mentioning, like foreign player rules, like passport stuff, like being a Canadian trying to make it in Europe. How actually difficult is it? Not even from the football side, just like technicalities and like logistically.
No, I'll say like going over there, like, you know, going out there without true, other than the first couple of teams that were intentions of trying kind of walk-on trials, like the level was never an issue. I'm confident in myself, and even coaches have said, you know, we would love to sign you. We can't. There's just so many other rules people don't know. As you know, Canadian's a very good passport to getting into the countries and being able to stay for a longer term. But when you got to stay for a whole season, a whole year, and get paid to play, you know, things like, you know, EU passport is very powerful, but the EU have some strict rules, foreign player rules. Like I said, in Malta, it was only 4 players that were foreign could be on the team in the second tier. So like, yeah, the money was there. It was ready. The money wasn't the issue. the level wasn't the issue. It was, hey, we only have 4 spots and we already have 4. So that's, you're out of luck. That's it. Yeah.
Crazy.
It is.
Yeah, sometimes it doesn't even come down to the level. Like you're hitting all these hurdles and literally nothing you could do about it. You're getting the contract taken away from you.
Yeah, that was a crazy one.
So then you link up with him
Yeah.
in Estonia. Like what's being talked about? What are the conversations like? Because I'm sure you're at a low point at this point. Like you're probably feeling a little bit down on yourself.
For sure.
Contracts being taken away from you. And what does this guy do for you?
I mean, this guy, no, honestly, honestly, Jem, he's my brother here, but like going there and being away from your home area and being there in a different country, like, first of all, it brought a smile to my face, like seeing a new a face that I've seen my whole life, and he helped me out right away within the first like week. His agent and himself helped organize some trials there, and I got a trial with a 2nd-tier club there. Same kind of issue happened. They have some money rules, so they didn't sign me, but they liked me. And then I was able to train with his team while I waited to go to Finland. So that was like really, really cool. Got to experience the level of the Estonian Premium Liga and see his facilities, see his team. So that was really, really cool. And like, I can't thank him enough. So
It was a good experience.
How's your Estonia journey been so far?
Honestly, like it was fun. I had fun. I think especially coming in, I was on trial, so I had to earn my contract, and that was like the number one goal. January 1st, I knew what I was getting myself into, and I went, and I think the situation was just like wide open for me. They just stayed in the league last year. They let all their old players go, so there was like a wide open gap to just go in and get a contract, And I was like the 3rd oldest guy on the team. The team was so young.
It's a young team.
Yeah,
Damn.
17, 18, 19, 20, 21.
You're on the team.
Yeah, like honestly, And a lot of guys were having their debut seasons in the league, and I think that was cool, but that was also a recipe for disaster, I think, because we're competing against men first and foremost, guys that have to feed their families, and also guys that want to compete in Europe. Like they're fighting for Champions League qualifying spots, Conference League qualifying spots, and I underestimated how much that was going to affect the season. I said, these are good players. Some of these guys are playing on the youth national teams for Estonia, under 21s, under 17s, and so we'll be okay. We'll be okay. Season started, and oh my God, we were getting handled left and right.
High level, eh?
Yeah, like tactically, we were not there, and we had a good coach. His name is Timo Taino. He played on Tottenham like a while ago, played Champions League, and he's a Finnish legend. And he was a good guy, good coach. His football IQ and everything was high, and what he expected from the team was also high. And I think we let him down in many ways. And a couple games in, he ended up leaving. So then our assistant coach stepped up, and I'm really happy that I got to work with those two, because they had trust in me, they had faith in me, they gave me the opportunity to mess up and go start again the week after that. And I learned a lot, experienced a lot, took a lot of L's, but a lot of W's as well, in terms of experience. So I have good things to say about the league, the team, all the friends that I made, and yeah, can't say anything bad.
When you guys are playing in like these small Northern European countries, like lower division, stuff like that, what are you taking away from like the gameplay, the lifestyle that, someone maybe playing in Canada or in the US would never even know or never experience? Like what is the environment really like?
It's a great question.
I think going like for my past experience with FC Honka and the fans they had, Finland's not a huge soccer culture, but it's still the first sport they pick up when they're a kid. It's still Europe. There's signs on the street. It's not there's kids running across the street. It's kids ball playing with a soccer stick figure in a soccer. It's still rooted in their culture, which is, that's the difference, right? And going to a club like FC Honka, who had true fans, it wasn't a huge fan base, but by the end, like, you're getting like a couple hundred ultra supporters at your game chanting your name. Like, that's just a different story. It's something that's missing here. And also I would say that promotion relegation.
Yeah.
just, I know you're probably gonna touch on that, but like I fought for promotion in our league. Like it really does mean a lot to the club financially, to the players who play for the club their whole lives. Like this is something that's rooted way deep in the culture that's just missing here. You know, it's just something. You're not just going out there to play. Like every single game means something. Every minute really does mean something. So that's definitely what I'll say is a big difference, even in these lower tiers, Finland, lower tiers, northern European countries.
You're legit like every game you're fighting for your future.
Yeah.
Basically, right? And that's the thing that people don't understand here. And you know, even the highest level here in America with MLS, like they don't understand that either.
Yeah.
They have no experience of relegation, promotion. So they go in every season. Oh yeah, well you didn't win the league. Okay, we'll go next time.
Yeah.
You guys are fighting for your careers,
Yeah.
right? Every single game matters, not only to you guys, but to the fans, to the members, to the organization, to the finance people, to people that bring the money in. Everything matters because money, it's a business at the end of the day, right? And you're trying to make money too, even though you're trying to play your sport. But like, so you have to think of it as that too. I'm not just trying to live my life doing what I love, but also got to think about the future too.
Yeah.
Live now, but also think of the future.
100%.
So it's just-
100%.
Yeah. It's true.
kudos to you guys. Kudos to you guys.
Yeah.
For real.
Promotion relegation was, well, obviously, okay, the team ended up getting relegated.
Ah, jeez.
Yeah.
What was that like?
It was, you know, I don't know. Until it actually happened, I didn't believe it was going to happen. Like every week we knew we needed points, and in my head, I said, it's just not going to happen. Like it's not going to happen. And I remember there was a game we had against the second last team. In my head, they were worse than us. I to this day, I'll die on that hill. They were worse. They were worse than us. And we had to go away, and it's a club that's on a little island actually. So you have to take a ferry out there,
Jeez.
and most of the guys on that team stay in the city. So we're seeing them take the ferry with us, and it's like we're getting out there, and I see the pitch and everything, and it was like rain. It was just one of those days, like you just got to go get it done, you know.
Yeah.
And then the whistle started. We trained really well leading up to it. The game started. We're playing well. We go up 1-0. I said, okay. We win this game. We get momentum. They go below us, and we go above, and we get momentum, you know. And within like 20 minutes in the second half, they might have had the ball for like the total of 20 minutes, that whole game. They scored 2 goals. I don't know where it came from, like two set pieces, a PK and a free kick, and defended for their life. 11 guys behind the ball. And you can see the emotion, every tackle, every pass they completed. They're screaming. There's fans. They're screaming. I said, oh my God, like it's tough. Momentum is in football is everything. You know, it's tough to get that back. And then we lost. The ride back sucked. Everything was quiet. You know, now we're really thinking, oh snap, it's possible. If we can't beat these guys, like it's really possible.
Like, how's like the coach looking at you boys, like on that bus ride
man,
home?
Like I've seen coaches stress before, but this was something else. They're like red in the face, like
No.
going to work the next day and seeing them, and it's just, you know, it weighs on you. And I feel bad because I had good coaches. They were good people, you know, and it's just tough because they deserved better. The team deserved better, I think. And but that's the thing with relegation. It feels unfortunate, but someone has to get relegated every year, every season. So, you know, I'm thinking I'm just going to take that experience and grow from it. Of course, that's all you can do. But yeah.
That's sorry.
Go ahead, go
I
ahead.
always think that's just the beauty of sport, though. And I
Yeah.
think that's what makes sports so good. Like you could see your team do so bad. Like for example, Barcelona fan here. You've seen a lot of times where we had a horrible team with like Minguez and all those players, and you're like, holy smokes. But then you realize the good. Like, oh my gosh, we went through so many bad stuff. What we're living through now, we're so happy that we're in this moment right now. So like, you have to go through those
Crazy
things.
You're
comparison.
making Barca fans sound so spoiled.
It's a crazy comparison.
I don't know what other comparison I could give. What Toronto FC, like
That's crazy.
Barcelona's the only one that comes to mind. But like that's what those highs and lows gives you, right? Like
Yeah.
that momentum to now you definitely want to go out there next season and go even harder.
Yeah,
like
it
you said, 10
sparks
times
something.
harder.
Yeah, for sure.
Like Vinny, right?
yeah.
Hopefully not. Hopefully you actually go 10 times harder. But no, it's a crazy experience what you got through.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any like crazy or wild stories from like your journey so far? Just like real, you know, gritty European football type shit.
Oh, yeah, I definitely do. I didn't even think I was gonna touch on it, but
Touch on it,
Go
bro.
on.
Feel free.
Go on.
oh my God! So after Austria, I ended up a few months later going to Albania. I did not want to go there. The agent kept bringing it up, and after about the 3rd time, my dad just said, "Okay, just go. It's somewhere to play. You know, stay fit, and then we'll see what happens in January." So I go. As soon as I landed, I knew I was in trouble, because like there's all these people trying to like get me into their taxis, like, oh, and I'm like the only black guy in the airport, so it's like, I don't know. I ended up getting into the club director's car, and then they told me I was gonna stay in a hotel and it was gonna have Wi-Fi and all these things. So I said, okay, like I'll be fine. We pull up to some dirty like apartment complex, and I said, this is not a hotel. He's like, oh, we're just getting it ready. Yeah, don't worry. There's guys in there, whatever. I pull up. There's 6 guys in the apartment. None of them spoke English, and I was like, oh boy, So then I go to the shower. It's cold water. There's no Wi-Fi in the crib. I have to walk like 30 minutes to go call my parents every day. And I'm like, yo, this is crazy. This is nuts. And the team wasn't even, because we were staying in the city, and the team wasn't even based in the city. It was like a village. And so we'd have to drive another 30, 45 minutes outside the city to go to the village. And I remember my first day there, it was a game day -1. So we had a training on the field. And I remember pulling up to the stadium, and it's all these village kids. It low-key reminded me, because I've lived in Nigeria, it kind of reminded me of Nigeria a little bit. Like, the village, like it kind of did. The kids are coming. I had a watch on. I had some like rings on. The kids, oh, please, like, can you give it to me? Give it to me, whatever. I said, oh my God.
They were trying to rob you.
Rob me, trying to take my water bottle, trying to take everything. I said, wow, But it also, on the other side of that, I thought it was like a really cool thing to experience, because then they learn your name right away. So every time we had a game, they knew who I was right away, So that was also pretty cool. But it was just like highs and lows, like you said, and that was a low. Like I have nothing good to say about Albania. The people there weren't nice either. I had one guy on my team who was also Nigerian, and he was a Muslim, and that guy was the best thing that ever happened to me in terms of Albania for sure. Such a nice guy. We talked about faith, a lot. I'm a Christian, and opened a lot of my eyes to a lot of things that people are experiencing. It's not just me, he was going through it too. So yeah, Albania was, no, yeah.
What division was that?
That was, they told me it was the second, but
They lied.
They lied.
told me.
And
Crazy.
I even went on Transfer Market, and the club was there, but it didn't show the league. So I was so confused,
Nobody knows, man. I'm telling you.
it's called the second league, but it's the third. It goes the third.
Okay,
Yeah.
can we touch on that, right? Because this is the Nordic region trick, man. If you go to their league names, this happened in Finland, but it's also in like most of those Nordic European regions, and I guess it's in other countries too. Like when they first started, like let's say they started the league in the 60s, that's probably was the first tier. As they go in, they'll add in another tier, but they'll keep the name. So like Finland's tier list is like Veikkausliiga, which is like the top, like the betting league, the betting company's name.
Yeah.
Then it's Ykkösliiga, which is the first league, which is the second tier. Then it's Ykkönen, which is the first league, which is the third tier. Then it's Kakkonen, which is the second league, which is the fourth. Bro, it's like
Jesus.
And
They're just trying to confuse orders.
and then so that'll go into like, I'll give one of my stories.
Yeah.
It wasn't even me. I was staying with a team in Finland. They were in the third tier. One of the selling factors they used to bring players in, mostly African players. So what they would do is this is the club director, and he was, he ended up setting me up in there, whatever, told me I was going to sign when the window opened. So I stayed with them for a couple weeks, doing well at training. He signed me up for their second team, which is playing in the 5th tier of Finland, just so I can get games. He's like, yeah, when it opens up, we're going to sign you. You're going to come play, no problem. That didn't end up happening. But the way he would trick some of these guys, he'd be like, yeah, we're the first division, and the English spelling, yes, it's the first division. So you tell these guys, hey, you come with us. We have housing. You're in the first division. You go to the housing. I had 4 guys in my room. It was a 3-bedroom apartment with like 12 guys. One guy sleeping in the corner with his girlfriend. Yeah, 4 guys in my room, 3 guys in the next room, 1 kitchen destroyed. Yeah, like it's just stuff you don't really. I showed a little glimpse of it, but you really can't expose everything you see on an everyday basis.
Yeah.
It's really grimy. It really was.
Uh-huh.
I got some warnings about that club, so I'll give a heads up. Finnish football isn't like that, but like it's there. It's in Europe. This happens, right? This is what people don't get to see, right? They think you go over there and you sign for a team and you ball out and you go to Belgium First Division.
Yeah, like I'm in Europe, like you know, like but like there's levels to it.
There's
kind
It
of.
levels.
really is.
Yeah,
It really
there's
is. There's levels to it for sure.
Man. Yeah.
But you were touching on obviously doing a lot of documenting. You've created a lot of content, vlogging your journey, which I think is dope. Do you think more footballers should, document their journeys and become creators in general? Because I see Lamine Yamal just made a YouTube channel. Haaland is killing it with his YouTube channel.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I love it. I absolutely love it, and I like the way Haaland did his stuff. I really love the behind the scenes. Just what they do on a daily, like a day in the life, right? Like it's not fake. It's not for the cameras. It's like what they do on a daily basis, the little behind the scenes, the little stuff that people don't see, right? And I know a lot of clubs post a lot of content now. You see those like training days and like, I love watching those, but it's not the same, right? You don't get to see them when they go home. And like, some guys I've seen, like, I know some clubs do it, but they'll do like the day in the life. And like, you could tell, they're putting it on for a little bit for the camera, but
Of course.
then there's some guys that go out there like, I took a nap and I play video games and then I get ready for training. But it really does vary player to player, and I love like even James Madison.
Yeah.
He was doing it before he got injured, but now he's injured. He does these like cool videos. Like I really do like to see the personality outside of football. I love that. So I'm all for it. You guys know I document the journey, but eventually I would love to branch off to that stuff, just like the everyday life. Like it's a regular day,
Yeah, because it's so relatable, right? Because I'm sure that even you don't know the amount of ballers that are in your guys' shoes right now that maybe have come across your content. Like, this guy, we're kind of in the same, part of our career right now. Like maybe I could take some advice from him. Maybe, I could see what he's doing. Even from the sense of like, you think like the content you're creating, even maybe coaches are seeing it?
You know what?
Funny.
You know what? Funny enough, yes. I think it can be both positive and negative. But I'll touch even on like, that's kind of why I like documenting the journey too, because I do want to inspire, that, you don't have to be the best player from the best team and go do this. You really can grind it out and do it on your own. Like you can really do this. You just got to take a chance and do it the right way, obviously. And like, I always try to answer, like I get a couple of DMs, guys asking me questions in the comments. I always try to answer that stuff because, that's why I make it. I want to inspire. Because if I've had guys like Matt Sheldon on YouTube where like I kind of looked up to him. Like he went to, he was a legend. Like, he showed the daily life, but he always showed the struggle behind the scenes. And going into the coaches thing, funny enough, how I signed for Honka was actually they had seen me on YouTube, not my coach, but one of the youth coaches, and he's a Canadian guy and there's a Greek guy, and they both I ended up meeting them. And he said like, we saw you on trial with another club in the second tier of Finland. Like, how did you do? Like, I couldn't show the trainings, right? But obviously I said I did well, and he kind of was like, okay, I kind of see where you're coming from. Let me get a trial with Honka, and it was history from there. So I think they are seeing it, but it could also be a negative. I won't disclose anything, but like more recently I got invited to a club. I'm a free agent right now, so I got invited to a club actually in Estonia, and I was connected through an agent, and they were very interested, and then I kind of got crickets after a couple of days. Like he's like, the agent I was working with called me. He's like, yeah, they found out you were an influencer. Like, what is this about? I said, oh, I make YouTube videos. I showed them the stuff. Like, yeah, they don't want to go that route. They don't want those type of players on their team. So, some clubs, some teams don't really like it. And I think especially in Nordic Finland, like the kids loved it. I got a lot of love for it because no one does it there. But I don't think the teams loved it so much. I know my coach hated it. He did not like it.
Your Honka coach.
Yeah, I'm a Honka coach. Yeah, he was not. Not hating on it, but he was like, when you gonna stop posting videos? Let us win the league, and you can post all you want. He didn't like giving anything away. Yeah.
Man.
No, I think it's good because like even like I said, you never know who's gonna come across it, and who knows? Maybe like someone might send it to this guy, to that guy who's maybe like a scout or a sporting director of this club. You never know, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So when are you gonna start the content?
Man, that's a great question. I do like content creation. I like editing videos and stuff. maybe I'm just a bit lazy. I don't know. It is work. It is
It is
You're a free agent right now.
Yeah.
Are you still signed? Or?
My contract ends this month, so yeah, I'm a free agent. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're both on our next step, hopefully soon. But
Yeah.
we're in between right now.
Mm-hmm. So obviously, like, you guys are like on the grind through your different European destinations. What's the goal for you guys, like, at this present moment? And, you know, through all these trials and tribulations, what keeps you guys motivated? Because again, like, we talk about going to Europe, but it's not as sexy as it sounds, and you guys are evidence of that, right? So what keeps you guys motivated?
Yeah, there's a couple things for sure. I mean, first you gotta realize you love the game. You know, I really don't see myself doing anything else. And you know, we talk about this all the time. We got university degrees. I have an accounting degree from Drexel University. That's very sexy for people in America and North America, you know, and in the accounting industry and the business industry. That's very sexy. But and this is my passion. You know, I put a lot into it up to this point. And you mentioned trials and tribulations. You know, I'm a Christian as well, and just leaning on my faith, trusting in the Lord, trusting in Jesus, knowing that there's a reason we're going through this, and if we really do believe in it, we're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep pursuing forward. So that's pretty much it for me.
Yeah. I think two things. First one is just make a career out of this. You know, play for as long as I can, inspire as many people as I can with, you know, my story and the things that I've been able to overcome. I think that's first and foremost. But secondly, I think, which is more important, I want to fulfill my potential, whatever that looks like. You know, whether that's Estonia's first division and that's it, then. But I was able to be the best player that I can be, then I'll take that. Or whether that's, you know, starting center back in Real Madrid. You know, who knows? You like just being able to be the best person and best player that I can possibly be. I think that is what wakes me up in the morning. That's the purpose, the drive that I have in my heart. So yeah, I can't see myself doing anything else.
Yeah, we have these conversations all the time, you know, and people have asked me, like, you know, what's your goal with this? You know, like, where do you want to play? Where do you see yourself playing? And look, if I told you guys my goal, you'd think I'm crazy.
No, tell us, bro. Manifest it.
You know, I'm telling you, like, I'm in a top 5 country playing, you know, City of Chi, City of B. Like, that's a realistic goal. You know, like, we see guys like Promise, and there's so many other players that just go through different paths that it just takes that, you know, that build up, and then you get your year, you get your move, and that's it. I think there's a lot of, you know, there's a lot of small margins of football, and you're really seeing that as you go watch these games play in Europe, and you realize, like, the levels aren't as big of a gap as you really think they are, but there's still levels, and you still got to get there. You still got to just build and build and build, and like you said, play for as long and the highest level possible. But yeah, for sure, like, you know, some people will look at you differently if you said, like, hey, look, I'm gonna be in City of B in 5 years, and they'd be like, you're crazy, or I'm gonna be MLS, you know. But you know, that's the belief I have in my abilities, and I know we've had this conversation lots. Like, you know, we really are manifesting this, but we're also putting the work behind.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people watching, and just people in general, all of the haters in general, don't understand the feeling of wanting to try to be the best. You know, it's you might not make it. You might not make it. But what's better, knowing that you tried your fullest, you went 110% in and tried your hardest, or you didn't try at all. And you sweat, you know what? What if I did try? What if I did? You can go at the end of the day, at the end of your career, say, at least I tried my hardest, and I'm at the position I'm at now. And at the end of the day, all it takes is you might be down bad. You might be in the worst possible position, but all it takes is that one opportunity that comes in the worst time possible, maybe, or the best time possible. You take that take it and you go from there, right? Yeah, so all it takes is that one opportunity, and you have to just keep on going, keep on grinding until that comes, and it's gonna come one day, right?
And it's funny, like, it's funny because you know, you really think things aren't going the way you want them to go. And then, you know, I didn't want to play at the level with FC Honka. Like, I knew nothing about them before I signed for them, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna drop a tier lower than I've been promised that I'm gonna sign at this level. I'm gonna drop a tier lower, and then I end up going there and having a really good season, get a lot of exposure, great club, and it was just like I couldn't have asked for a better end of the year. So it's like you really don't know how the path is gonna go, and even like with you in Albania, bro, like they talked about that every time. I'm watching this guy on the TV. I'm watching this guy play his game. Every time this guy, they zoom in on him and they talk about the clubs he played for. Wow, they're saying, wow, this guy was in Albania 3 months ago, and now look at him, he's in Estonia, right? Like it's crazy the things you think that are negative, but they're really building for the future, and like it's really crazy. The path is just different. It's different.
I like that energy, bro. And I love the story of the unconventional path.
Yeah.
Like, bro, you guys sharing this, like, I love to hear, especially as local guys, like guys that grew up around us. Like, these stories need to be told.
Yeah, 100%.
Because not every journey's sexy. Like, not every journey is, TFC to Bayern and then to Real Madrid. Like, that's 99% of the time, that's not the journey.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean, like, your journey's not worse. Like it's just part of the path, right? And it's cool to see. Yeah. It's cool to see. But do you guys see obviously we touched on him a little bit, but Promise David, friend of the pod, very unconventional journey for him too. Obviously played at Vaughan as well alongside you guys at certain points. You guys see him as like a reference in terms of very unconventional path, why not me type thing?
Yeah, 100%. I know while I was still in school, I was seeing him playing Estonia, and I didn't even know where Estonia was, like on the map. But I saw him out there doing his thing, and I would hit him up, and I'm like, yo, like, how's it going? And he would just tell me, oh, this week is difficult. They're not playing me. I'm with the second team. So I'm hearing everything he's saying. And then when it came to my turn, I remember actually asking him, I'm like, bro, like, what's one thing that you would tell yourself if you were in my shoes? He's like, everyone is good at something, just find what you're good at and be the best at it, He would be the first one to tell you that, okay, maybe his first touch is not the greatest.
Oh, he told you.
He'll be the first one to say that, But he's like, okay, but I'm going to use my size, and I'm going to, and that was also something that I even asked him with the national team as well, because I said, like, what is that mindset like going from your club? You just bagged on the weekend. Now you're about to go play against Argentina and Copa, whatever. Like, what is that? What's that like? He's like, honestly, it's just a group of guys who want to be excellent at something, coming together and achieving it. It's nothing different from your club, And I said, wow, like that's a perspective that I never would have had.
Yeah.
Well, so why not? Like, take these things and try it. See what works.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he's definitely a reference. Especially like growing up, we played together at Vaughan, and it's very unconventional, like you say. Even me, he was in Malta for a little bit. He had some tough times there too, and I spoke to him about it. And he's like, look, it's not it's not as glamorous as it sounds. Like, yeah, Malta's these islands, people go on vacation, it's beautiful, but it's not like that throughout it's a tiny country, smaller than Vaughan. The whole country,
smaller than Vaughan is crazy.
It's smaller than Vaughan. Like, that's a fact. That's a fact. Yeah. And like, you go there, and there's beautiful places there. There's not so beautiful places on that island, and even in the football side of things, nothing's perfect there. He didn't have a perfect time there either, but you take it, and I really thought, I'm like, wow, I'm going to Malta. I'm going to follow the promised way, but everyone has their own way. Everyone has their own path. Yeah. It's not straightforward as everyone seems, and I'm glad I'm documented, but people are talking about their paths because, you don't see it until you make it, right? Most of the time, right? Promise. I wish he showed his path the way. I wish he was vlogging it, because I promise you he has some crazy stories 100%. That he's told us and like hasn't even told us.
100%.
Right? So it's
one thing I got to give him his flowers. Like in the times that we were playing for Vaughan, and he did not have it easy even there, like on our team, and then to go and then do this on the global stage, there's something in there that it takes, absolutely, and I have to give him respect, because that's not easy. Some guys would have quit, guaranteed, just from the Vaughan and not gone onto your 100%. I can't.
Oh, like he was having like difficulties like with the coaching staff.
Like just I think they should have respected him a bit more. Obviously, our team was pretty good, so it was already difficult as it was to get on the field.
Oh, so he couldn't touch pitch.
Boy, there was some, there was some,
No, let's just say, he wasn't playing 90s at Vaughan,
yeah,
right? And I don't like, that's like if you look at it where he's at now, like
Yeah.
that's a crazy story in itself,
He's playing Champions League 90s.
exactly,
right?
Yeah.
Because
exactly.
you might like, that's crazy, and that's why
Yeah.
everyone's, even the pathway is different in terms of timing, right? Like we talked about it. We went to university. We needed those times to grow. He went to Europe at that same time. So when we went to university, he left
Yeah.
for Malta, or he went to the US first, but he was playing with a professional team, training with a professional team. So it's like, although the path was different, we're all going through it slowly but surely. And, it wasn't a perfect academy career for him as well.
He told us during the pod we had with him too. Like even his start of trying to think to go pro was completely different from you guys too. Like he said to us, he's like, he never really thought he wanted to go pro until his mother said, okay, it's either you do this or you go back to school or you do this. And then that's when he's like, okay, fine, I'll actually try and do it.
No, yeah.
But like, you know what I mean? Like that was his career. That was his mindset. That's where his spark was. Completely different from you guys as well.
Exactly.
So that just shows you every player
Everyone's
is
different.
different. Everyone has different motives. Everyone has different things, different times as well. And that's just the beauty of football, man.
Yeah,
People don't see that.
And I'll
every day.
say, like, there's so many guys we grew up with or we saw in this space. I'm sure you guys seen, like, in Vaughan, in Toronto. Like, this is such a crazy hub for talent.
Yeah.
And they didn't go and do what they didn't reach their potential. Like you said, maybe there was an Iniesta missing in the streets of Toronto because, the pathway wasn't there, and they chose not to, or they weren't exposed to it. And that's it, right?
Yeah.
Like,
or even guys that maybe peaked when we were 13, 14.
Yeah.
Like they were generational at that time. Maybe got to 18 and, where'd this guy go?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. Like, it's,
Or like maybe the guy that was like kind of not touching pitch at 14 or like on the bench, 18 comes around and he's balling. Different timings, bro.
It's true. I think this game is like 90% mental. Like I'm telling you, it'll take you to some places, when you're really, really low, and you gotta overcome something, and then I think the player and the person you become after that is, it's crazy, and we always say there's levels. There really is levels, and a lot of these guys are just dialed in. They're not thinking about what they did yesterday. That's one thing I noticed. I think this year, like. There's a guy on my team. He played CPL. He played around Finland, and he was a bit older than me. So I would always look up to him as a Canadian, and I would just see it was his mindset that I really respected. Every day going and forgetting about what happened yesterday, but doing it again today, because that's what matters. It's the mentality of the player, the individual, that sets you apart. 100%. Yeah.
Just get right back up type thing.
Do it again.
Like I'm sure you guys in your journey have had some down moments. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
Or like you probably wanted to quit, no?
yeah, for sure.
But you got right back up.
Yeah,
Right back up.
Because there's something you're fighting for, no?
Absolutely.
100%.
Absolutely.
I love it.
There's like, I never had a doubt that I could do it, that I could become a professional. I never had a doubt in my heart, but there were moments that I was doubtful of continuing, So,
Yeah, that's a perfect way to put it.
Yeah.
It's like, I think that's where people get caught too in every sense of the journey. It's that one point where, like, maybe it's just time, maybe it's just time to go home, and that's what people don't understand too. Like, you're in Europe, it's a little different than the US too. You're across seas, there's time zones. I have a girlfriend, long time. My family's here, all of our friends are here. Like, you're alone. You really are alone. You don't really realize it until you're there in that moment. And there's so many stories of guys coming home homesick, right? Like, and you understand it, but it would just suck if that was the reason.
Yeah.
That, and I'm glad it wasn't so far, and I hope it never is. But I won't let that be the reason. Just that I'm homesick. So
Because it's so easy just to go back home. It's like you it's like you're going home to a beautiful bed. It's waiting for you.
Yeah.
A beautiful bed is waiting for you. A nice home cooked meal. But that's the thing, right? It's like the devil in disguise. You think that's probably the best thing for you. Oh, I can go home. I have it. I have my girlfriend home. I have my family home. I have my accounting degree. I have this and that. I can go home. I don't have to do this. But what's the thing that's pushing you? You want to keep on trying. You want to keep on going.
it's in here, man. It's in your heart.
It's truly in here. It's truly in here. And some people don't have that. That push, that desire. I don't want to quit on myself. And again, I'll give you guys kudos for that, because that's something that not many people know.
It's true. I keep thinking, like, especially those nights where it's like you're thinking it's nighttime. It's always nighttime.
Oh,
You know,
no, it's always like 2 a.m. in the
It's always
morning.
2 a.m. You're reminiscing, you're just looking.
What am I doing
What am
here?
I doing? But it's
cold.
Things. Yeah, it's cold. It's like,
I got
two
one
things.
blanket. I go
Bro,
home.
you don't even know, bro.
Yeah, two things I'll say.
Blanket,
Like,
no pillow, bro.
first is definitely like faith. I think just being centered in Christ and just knowing that whatever happens, I will be okay. That's
Man.
the biggest thing, first of all. Then I just think again, what story am I gonna tell my kids? You know, like that actually drives me a lot. You know, like I wanna have them
Sure.
just they're around the table. I'm telling, listen, I was down bad in this place, you know, but I didn't quit, you know, and I stuck it out, and that's why you guys are all here today, you know,
Yeah.
living in this great place, you know. So
Like there's
So-
so many things pulling you back.
Yeah,
Like you
yeah.
said, the girlfriend, the boy. Like I'm sure the boys are posting Instagram stories. Like they had a sick night. Yeah. And you guys are in like Finland. You know, like
Yeah.
Boys are in the group chat, and I'm waking up in the next morning, 7 hours ahead, and I'm like, wow, man, I missed another
that looked
one.
fun.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
looked
looked fun, eh?
like all the snaps are coming
Yeah.
through. Like everyone had a sick night.
Yeah,
you got to wake up for like a 6 a.m. training. Like so many things pulling you back, but like is there something in
Yeah.
there that keeps you going?
Yeah. And that's what the blessing about coming home now is just like it's like we picked off right at where we left off. So it's really nice. Come home, see the boys, get to see everyone, my mom, my family, my dog, my girlfriend, everyone. So it flies by, but it's really, really nice, that little homecoming every year. So,
You get to recharge.
yeah,
Yeah, it's
exactly.
Recharge. You need that for sure. Man.
And it's easy to come back to Vaughan too. You know, like
not a bad place.
it's not a bad place to
Not
come
a
back
bad
to.
place, man.
Honestly, weather sucks, but hey, man, that's it. That's it.
I want to touch on a little bit. You guys have H2.
Yeah.
Touch on that a little bit. What are you guys trying to do with that in terms of inspiring the next generation?
Mr.
Trying to go
H2
the game.
himself.
Mr. H2.
He's-
Yeah, it's like the way I see it. It's a footballer's brand made by footballers, so it's something you can trust. It's not people who haven't been through it, people who don't know what they're talking about. So I think that's the most important thing, that it's reputable. So it started in Seattle. I was playing, and obviously my name's Habib, and I met another guy. His name was Habib, and that was the only other Habib I met in my life.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So then that's where the name came from, H2. Just coaching kids, but for me, it's like I really like the details of football, and taking it on your back foot, and just the way that the game is as like a chess game. Like I really do enjoy that part of it, of helping players develop. But I think it's more the mentoring part, because it's really important as you're becoming a better player to become a better person. So I always kind of like try to push that. So that's where it started, and then I realized, all my teammates in different areas, coaches in different areas, I have this large network of people that know things about the game, have done things in the game, which is pretty cool. So why not bring that together and let's make something? And then he came along and actually helped me out a lot, because it's difficult to do it, alone. And he has different ideas, and just elevated the brand to something else completely, and then we brought it here, and then now it's still in Seattle. It's going to New York, hopefully with one of our boys. So it's like reaching to different pockets. It's pretty cool,
Touching different corners
Yeah,
of
yeah.
the continent.
inspiring different people.
Yeah.
It's cool. Yeah, it's cool.
Fire.
Yeah.
Fire. I like that.
Yeah.
I wanna touch on a little bit, current football. What teams do you guys support?
Snap.
I'm a Milan fan. Forza Milan.
Okay.
I'm a Man United fan.
Man United?
Yeah, man.
Why?
I ask him every day. Why.
I do ask myself this every day too. It was when I was living in Nigeria, it was the first football game that I watched. It was when Ronaldo lined up and just banged it against Portsmouth and turned around and did this crazy celebration. I remember watching, and I was like, damn, like I want to be that guy,
Yeah.
and the red kids, and that's where it started, and then I remember like 2011, 2012, I'd wake up 6, 7 a.m. to watch the Prem on Sportsnet. Remember?
Those are the
Those are the
days.
days.
Sportsnet,
Those are
bro.
Sportsnet, yeah.
Yeah.
And Danny Dickio was a presenter at halftime, and Man United was my team. Like Van Persie, Rooney. I was like, oh my god, what a team,
You were
But
cooking at that time.
At that time, yeah, at that time. But yeah, things are tough right now, so it's okay.
It's been low key tough for both of your guys' teams the last 10-ish
Yeah,
years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Milan's been struggling too. But
You've been a Milan fan for a while though.
yeah. My dad was a Milan fan. I was a Milan fan growing up. you know, we had that golden era as I was younger as well. You know, Dino, Beckham, Pato, El Shaarawy. So I grew up seeing those guys. Kind of got screwed over as they went into the banter era, but it's okay. We still support. We're not switching up. So
No, that's real. I saw something today actually. They're trying to introduce a new rule into footy with offside. I don't know if you guys seen this.
just saw this.
You just seen it?
What was it?
Basically what it is like what they're trying to implement. The only way you're gonna be called offside is if you're fully offside. Like if you're like just like your head's offside or like part of your leg, you're still onside. You got to be fully past the defender to be offside.
Okay.
It's like the hockey offside.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, like you can be halfway over the blue line type of thing.
Okay.
What do you guys think about that?
Okay. Can I see first?
Yeah.
As an attacker, this is the dream. But I've actually been saying this since they implemented VAR. I think the VAR is just too close where that, like, you know, from the naked eye, you would never call that off, but they're calling it off because the skin cell on his nose is offside. So you have to, by law, it is, right?
Yeah.
But I think it's going to suck for defenders. But at the same time, like, I love it. It's going to cause a lot more goals. Defenders are going to have to be wary of it. And it would be really exciting. I don't know how true it really is, but it would be really cool. It's actually monumental. That shifts a lot. Like, a lot more goals will be scored with that. You know, like, especially in and around the 18, those like rebound goals where you're partially offside and you just get the tap in standing offside. Now you're on. So
I have to agree. I have to agree. I think VAR took something away from football as much, as it has helped and made good decisions. I think it's taken something from football, like
the purity of it.
And it is a sport where human error comes into play, you know, and that's part of the game. Like, what was that game? Was it Chelsea Barca and champs? I can't remember. I know Chelsea was involved and they got done by but that's part of the game, you know, the drug bowl one. That's part of it, you know, and that's where the emotions come from, and then. So it's gonna suck as a defender.
Low key, though, like a lot of the best moments in history have come from errers.
100%.
Red cards that weren't given, red cards that maybe were given, like handballs that were wrongly called. It's part of the joy, you know.
It's a part of the game, you know, like especially in big games, big moments, like human error. The ref's a human, you know, like, and that the emotion plays into it sometimes. Like, it's I know I'm not fully anti-VAR, but I think that's a good counter to it. I don't know how true it would be, but for an attacker, that's lovely for me. I love that. You know?
Yeah.
Speaking of VAR, also like they had it in the league, in the Estonian league.
You got VAR there?
They had VAR.
Experiencing that is so weird. Something happened 5 minutes ago, and they stopped the game. Everyone's like, "What the hell happened?" And you're just talking to the other team. He's like, "Oh, it was a handball." I'm like, "Boy, I don't even know what you're talking about." You know? And it just slows the game down, kills it a little bit. Then the ref comes. The game's gone. You know, the game's just done. And then, I don't know, it was a weird experience.
Yeah, living that must be kind of wild.
And I'm sure the VAR, there's levels, right? The VAR in Estonia and the VAR in the Premier League, they're probably a little different.
Very
The guy in
true.
Estonia probably has an actual ruler with him on.
He's looking. That's
I
very
think
true.
she's outside.
But I think offside traps are going to be cooked with this new rule. No more Barca offside traps.
Barca's actually cooked. No, honestly, think about it. That half second where they step forward and you're making that run, you're on. Right? You're gaining 3 yards within 2 milliseconds, you know, just by one counter action.
Yeah, that's true.
So that would be
Say goodbye to the flick system.
Yeah.
Jeez Louise.
Who you guys got winning the World Cup?
Ooh.
I would love to see the Canada-Italy matchup and see Italy or Canada win it, but I think Spain's a heavy favorite for me. I think they play some great football, and I really enjoy watching it. So I think they could really do it this year.
Yeah, Spain heavy favorite, Portugal I guess heavy favorite. I would love to see an African team do well. Like I know Nigeria didn't make it unfortunately, but I'll support the Ghana boys. Morocco has a really good thing going on right now,
they do,
which would be pretty cool to see. So those are hopefully my picks, and I guess we'll see what happens.
Yeah, your take as an Italian Canadian. Are you repping Canada or Italy in that game?
I've gotten this question a couple of times.
That's a good question.
It's an ongoing debate.
Yeah.
It's his favorite question to ask.
You know, look, I was born in Canada. You know, I'm the Italian that doesn't speak Italian, typical kid from Vaughan, but you know, you grew up, you watch Canada in hockey and Italy in soccer. So when
Yeah.
it comes down to it, I'll support Canada, but realistically, if Canada beats Italy, I'm probably a little mad, you know.
That's what I
upsetting,
said
you know?
about, because
It's
I'm
upsetting,
Brazilian.
right?
So that's what I said about Canada, Brazil. Like,
Yeah, you grew
I'm
up-
gonna be upset about it. bro.
100%. Actually, I saw that video. Yeah, 100%. 100%. You're going to be upset about it, right? Like, I mean, if Italy even makes it at this point, it's pretty upsetting. But, like, yeah, I'm definitely going for Italy, but it would be great to see those teams do well, for sure.
Uh-huh. So if you had the option to play for Italy or Canada, you're choosing Italy.
That's a
You gotta
good-
make it.
see,
You gotta make it more. You gotta make it more like
That's a
juicy.
you know,
Like,
No,
that-
but he's pondering on it though.
no,
he's
that's-
still pondering on
That's
it.
still tough. That's still tough.
Really?
I know, like, yeah, you know, like I didn't grow up in Italy, so it's hard to say like I can really rep them. Like it really is.
I
a
mean,
dream.
Bro,
you have
It's a
Brazilians
dream.
on your team.
I seen Jorginho repping Italy. Like
Yeah, fair.
Emerson,
So I
Palmieri.
think you're good, bro. I think you're good if Italy comes calling. But would you?
I mean, if they hit my line, man, Italy, I'll sign tomorrow.
Yeah.
Next call up, I'm there. They might need a cheeky false nine up there. I don't know. There's some goals.
Yeah.
You think that's your best position though, false nine?
This is a tough one. I don't think I even know.
You don't know your best position,
I
eh?
don't know.
I
It's,
think
it comes down to like
Because
what the
you're
team's
kind of
playing.
versatile too, no? Like,
yeah.
what are you originally? Like a mid?
Originally, well, I don't even know, man.
None of you guys know your position.
Okay. We're weird cases. I think this is like why we've gone so far too. Like we're very versatile, both of us, honestly. But no, I'm my best position is a secondary nine in like a two striker system. So if you put me with a big nine
Okay.
You and Promise.
and me and Promise at this day and age, I think that's like the dream link up. Like I can really do some damage coming off the layoff and like getting underneath, but I like having freedom to like collect the ball lower.
So like a João Felix type.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
get that comparison.
That
a
is
couple times.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's pretty good actually.
Okay.
Yeah, I think my best position is the 6. That's what I play now. I haven't played it for a long time. Other than that, probably like right back. But I've played center back. I've played winger. I've played 10. I played goalie when I started. I've
Played goalie for my team.
Pick
yeah.
a position.
I'm
bro.
telling you, I
Yo,
played
this
left
guy
back.
can
I
play
played
anywhere.
I
You know,
played
he's
everywhere.
any. He's any.
Jeez.
Any on pro.
Any on pro clubs.
So
man.
you
Just switch
you
his
guys
side.
are the kind of guys like squads in a circle. Coach is like first time the team's linking. Oh, what position you guys play? I'll play anywhere.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, you
One of
guys are
those
those type of
guys,
guys.
Yeah, and we go to
Actually
runs. You
play,
go to those like those other things like small sided. Like I play the 6. I like to get low, get on the ball.
Yeah,
you know,
as
it's
much
like
as you want.
I
Touches.
love like you know I've been in some men's league games, some Sunday league games. Like I'll play even lower, man. I'll play like 6, center back, right back. I don't care.
Yeah.
I want to get on the ball.
In 11v11.
Yeah,
Damn.
Yeah.
Get on the ball.
You guys
man.
are versatile, eh?
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun learning. You know what's actually crazy? I don't know if the guys are gonna believe me. I got switched from right back to center back, and I was doing pretty well. I never played center back before in my life. And someone asked, like, how do you understand the position so well? I said, bro, it's from FIFA. Like,
Yo!
I'm not even joking. Like, just understanding how to space, defending space. It was from FIFA, 100%. And like now it's difficult to defend in these new games,
Yeah.
But before, back in the day, when it
Yeah.
was straight balls are top pace and understanding when can I stay, when can I drop, it was different time. Yeah, I'm telling you, like
Damn.
it's crazy.
So you're just holding X, but like in real life. To defend.
Yeah, checking shoulders, seeing who's going, and yeah,
One to press circle, put a leg.
yeah. when to take a red,
That's actually
Yeah.
sick though. Bro, FIFA's mad influential, bro.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
That's honestly the reason like I know a lot of these smaller countries.
Yeah,
Because of
yeah,
FIFA,
yeah,
right?
100%.
The
Bro, you know,
flags,
like
yeah.
a lot of like young kids know geography because of FIFA, right? So influential game for sure. If it's teaching you how to play center back,
Telling you, I'm telling you, yeah. They're like you're
not
captain.
even watching footy, but like playing a video game.
it. Your relationship with the other center back, everything. It was important.
Like on pro clubs.
Yeah, pro clubs like Ultimate Team, and I would have specific like ball playing CBs because I didn't want to kick the ball away.
tactics, man. When they added the tactics into FIFA, man, it got serious.
It got serious. It got critical. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. But boys, as we come towards the end here, got a final question. But before the final question, give me a goal for you guys by the end of 2026 that you want to achieve.
Oof. End of 2026. Ooh, man. Okay. You have one?
A year from now.
It's a lot to think about.
Yeah.
What's the position you want to be in? Like,
Okay.
yeah.
I want to find myself back in a first division somewhere, whether it's staying in the league or getting promoted somewhere, I think, and holding that standard for myself, I think that's important. A nice goal would be good next season. Just one. And I'm okay with that. Yeah.
Fire.
Yeah, for me, I think I'm hoping to have a great 2026 season, and then I'll be on the radar for some first division clubs, and just have options, like clubs wanting me instead of me reaching out to them. That's the goal for the end of 2026.
We're gonna make it happen. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Let's go. That's the energy. Let's go.
Let's do it.
And then finally, who's your guys' GOAT of football? Your guys' GOAT.
Yeah. My goal. Okay. You gotta understand. You gotta understand. I'm a Ronaldo boy. I think that's what got me into football, and his presence is undeniable. You know, he'll always be there. But growing up and finding my identity in football, it has to be Paul Pogba. Like, it's not even close. The way I would watch this guy move, influence a game, first touch, play as a 10, as a 6, just unbelievable for me. Yeah.
Yeah, one of the guys who's not here today, you would have like fainted from you saying that. It's a Pogba stand.
Yeah.
No, in his day, baller.
Yeah.
Absolute
man.
baller.
Yeah, man.
Change the position for sure.
Yeah.
Who you got?
For me, I mean, the easy one's Leo. You know, Messi's the GOAT. But my GOAT, you know, being a Milan fan, around the time I was really watching Milan play, Dino had just come to Milan. And although, you know, they say he was a little bit more washed at Milan, like, I just fell in love. He made me fall in love with the game, you know. I would go home, actually, in high school, like, every year. Before every single game, I would watch Dino highlights on YouTube. Every single game. Like, it was like a routine. Like, I would watch the game as I'm eating or before I leave, and then we go. And I remember it was a big thing in Ontario Cup, too. Like, before the games, like, I'll be like, right before leaving from the hotels, like, I'll be watching the highlights.
Just to get some inspo,
Just to
quick.
get some inspo, yeah, for sure. So, yeah, Dino is my goal.
Would you ever do that with a player, like before a game?
Yeah, I would watch.
Like, who are you watching?
I don't know, man. Dino for sure was one of those players I'd be watching.
Before games, I would put on like Iniesta highlights, but I wasn't even a mid.
Just love that. Just love it. Hey, you gotta keep the ball.
I know, like,
space.
like the croquetas had me like zooming. Like, that's what I needed.
That's funny.
I needed it for the ball control.
Yeah.
That's why I was tuning in. But
Man, that's funny.
that was my guy.
That's so funny.
I know, a crazy pull. I know.
Who you watching?
Dino
Yeah.
for sure was definitely a player I used to watch. And I don't even know who else. I loved Alexis Sanchez at Barcelona.
You did love Sanchez.
Yeah, I loved him at Arsenal.
You were watching highlights though for inspo pregame of
Yeah,
Alexis?
Sanchez was a baller.
Yeah, no,
I
he
He was
was.
a player.
I
man.
loved Sanchez
Yeah.
at Barca, bro. He was a baller, man. Who else, man? You know what? Funny shout out. I used to watch the Nike commercial of the POV one. You know the one I'm talking about?
Yeah,
Where he
the
becomes,
right the future.
right their future. He plays for Arsenal at the end of it.
Yeah.
Iconic Nike commercial.
It's always in that point of view.
With the finals, like you're taking that free kick.
Yeah.
I would just call them
You were just watching the commercial. I will legit watch the commercial.
That's you. That's you in your head.
That's
Well,
me,
that's
bro.
manifesting.
I read that.
Yeah, I was watching those
I'm
two
gonna go watch
low
them
key
when I
because
go.
in that commercial, it's like the whole story, the trial.
Yeah.
Like
Did you see Wenger in it?
Like Wenger's in it. You get the contract. You get the national team call up. They gave you like a hot girlfriend. Yeah, and like
It gave you the whole life. Yeah. It's the whole story.
You got Dino freaking sombrero flicking you.
Yeah.
What more do you want?
Ronaldo giving you a kiss. It's like,
they got you throwing up on the training
Yeah.
ground. Like, bro, like every single moment they gave you. So
peak.
It's a crazy story.
It's peak.
Peak for sure. But boys, appreciate you guys coming out.
No, thanks.
Had an absolute chat. Super dope to hear you guys' stories. And the best thing is the story's still going on.
Yes.
Still continuing. And we're going to get you guys back in here. You know what? A year from now.
I like it.
Put it in the calendar.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Just to see what happened if the manifestation is transpired.
Yeah.
And boys, be sure to check out Habib and Pulla. Follow them on socials and Pulla's YouTube channel, J Pulla.
Yes, sir.
Subscribe.
Fire. Subscribe, dropping some sick vlogs, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Cheers.
Thanks for coming, boys.
Thank you.
Cheers.